I know archery season's already open in a few places, but some of the rest of the state has a while yet. So me and Tristan's been shooting bows, and I kind of want to, we spec'd everything, and I want to go through these bows and show you what you can get without having to spend an arm and a leg in your left testicle. So we'll start with Tristan. This is not the actual bow I shot. The actual bow I shot for years I gave to my other son, Jay. So he's shooting that one this year, and we'll go over his specs too, but he's actually just left to go out of town and has his bow with him, so I can't show you his. But me and Tristan been shooting. But anyway, this is the Diamond Infinite Edge. I was gonna show you how short it was with a tape measure, but I don't see my tape measure. But it's the Diamond Infinite Edge, and it's not the Infinite Edge Pro. It's just the standard Infinite right hand bow, Infinite Edge. He does have the CB sight on it. I think it's just a Trophy Ridge quiver, nothing special. Is that the one that came with the bow? I think so. We didn't even change the stabilizer. It's got a whisker biscuit. This may be something we change as he starts shooting longer distances, because I've got him shooting the 4mm 300 spine Easton Long Range arrow. So I got his specs here, but he's at 513 total grains for a 27-inch arrow, shooting 230 feet per second. But he's got a lot of kinetic energy with that heavy, which for a 27-inch arrow, 513 is pretty heavy. And we've got him set at 67.5 pounds is what his draw weight is right now. And without putting a twist in a string or something, the bow is maxed out there. The bow will actually go, you put a twist in the string, shorten the string a little, and it'll go on up over 70. But with these small limbs, I wouldn't want to run it over 70. But it's a great starter bow, and it has so much adjustment in it. You can shoot it from 8 years old to, I've got a 29-30 inch draw, and I can still shoot the bow. So Tristan's still got a 27-inch draw length. So as his draw length increases, the poundage would go to the full 70, I would think. But either way, it's good where he's at. We shoot me, Tristan, and Jay all shoot the Magnus Stinger 150 grain head with the bleeder blade. So these arrows have 100 grain half outs. So you can see the balance there, how much shaft I have. So he's got the weight where he needs it for that arrow for penetration. The arrows aren't cheap. I believe it's around somewhere around $160 for 6 of them. So the arrows aren't cheap, but I would say they're worth it. You can pick up one of those sights for, I think, around $60, cheaper used at an archery shop. But that whisker biscuit isn't made for the 4mm arrow, so the arrow is basically just sitting in the bottom of it. And that may be something we have to change on his setup, but out to 40 yards, it's shooting. At 40 yards, he's shooting a 2-inch circle. At up to 20, he's splitting arrows. So it's not an issue right now. And Jay's bow is the exact same bow, which is my old one, but he's shooting a 29-inch draw, 29-inch arrow, 558 total grain with the same 150 grain Magnus Stinger, but he's got a 75 grain half out with a 5mm Easton Axis arrow, 300 spine arrow. We got his bow set at 59 pounds. He needs to build up a little more strength before we crank his up. So he's only shooting 213.8 feet per second. But once we get his bow cranked up, he'll be up there with Tristan. Mine is the Hoyt Ignite, and if you saw how short Tristan's bow is, this one's like an inch shorter, I believe, cam to cam. And a lot of guys don't like short bows, but I love short bows, especially for ground hunting. I can sit on my butt and shoot this bow, and even out of a tree, I have more maneuverability. So So I like a short bow. I don't like a long bow. We'll go through mine. So I'm shooting again the same head, 150 grain Magnus Stinger, and this is the Easton Full Metal Jacket. So it's a carbon shaft with aluminum over it. So I know, if I hit something hard, I'm going to bend that. It may not hold up as long. If I shoot through a deer and hit a tree root or something, I could possibly bend it. But I've got the 100 grain half outs, and that's a 29-inch arrow at 604 grains. And my bow is at 74.5 pounds, and I'm shooting 257 feet per second. I believe about 90 on the kinetic energy. But it hits hard like a regular, the $100 broadhead archery targets you buy, like about the best ones you can buy. Well, all of us, especially me and Tristan, will shoot clean through 2 of them. We'll have to stack them and put a backstop. When I got buddies that come over to shoot with us that shoot traditional, 340 spine arrows with no half outs, 120 grain, 25 grain heads, and they're getting this much penetration in one target when me and Tristan are blowing clean through 2 of them. So I love the heavier, stiffer setup for penetration, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Like these arrows are actually $167 for 6, I believe, is what these are. I've got the whisker biscuit on here now, but what I've ran into with the new arrows, I was shooting a 5mm, and I switched over to the 4mm. Being as heavy as it is, so I went from 560 grains to 604 grains when I switched arrows. And being it's 4mm and heavy, it kind of wants to wear the bottom of this whisker biscuit out too fast, and it gets loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my fall away rest back on to eliminate that problem. I've liked the whisker biscuits for keeping an arrow knocked. Like I'll keep my quiver in my bag, or a lot of times I'll put a strap around it and keep it tied right here on my back. But I can keep an arrow knocked in a whisker biscuit and go under limbs and through kind of thick stuff and not have to worry about it. I know it's there and it's ready. Fall away, I got to pay a lot more attention to it and make sure everything's set. So that's why I had the whisker biscuit on it, but I'm gonna have to take it back off and put the fall away on for these little heavier shafts. But I mean, you can. I paid $100 for this bow, and the bow case came with the case. So you can find a used bow and put your money into, I mean, you don't have to spend as much money as I did on arrows or sights or whatever, but you could deck a cheaper bow out and have a good hunting bow. Like, I'm not gonna go shoot somewhere. I'm not gonna go shoot a archery contest where I'm shooting out to 100 yards with this bow. But I am gonna kill deer up to 40 yards. It's set up for hunting. So I didn't have to put a bunch of money in it. But I've said before, the farthest I've ever shot a deer is 28 steps, 28 yards, and I don't like shooting over 30. I've let them walk at 45. I will shoot to 40. I just haven't had one at 40. But I try to set up for close shots. But I'm just trying to show you don't have to spend a ton of money to get into bow hunting. You can pick up a good used bow, put a good string on it, grab some good arrows, and I'm dead set on the big fixed blade broadheads. I like a heavy fixed blade, and I like a bleeder. I like the 2 blades. The 2 blades are good. Single bevels, they're good, but I like that bleeder blade because my exit hole on deer looked like he got shot with a 270, and they don't go very far, especially when it comes to kids or somebody that's not as experienced hunting and maybe getting nervous and not taking that perfect shot and they miss by 3 inches. They hit a shoulder blade, they shoot a deer quartering away, get the offside shoulder blade, anything. Even if you gut shoot a deer with this, it's going to rip them intestines to pieces. But either one of these bows will blow through shoulder blades. Either one of these setups, I've got pictures of one I shot a couple years ago. Perfect broadside straight through the thickest part of both shoulder blades, and the arrow went another 15 yards and stuck in the ground. I shot him on the ground. But I think with these heavier broadheads, heavier fixed blade broadheads, it takes a little chance of mistake away, especially for these kids and stuff, so they don't have to have quite the perfect shot to have a deadly shot. Anything you want to add?
I don't believe so. If you have used deer targets, let us know. I need a deer target.
Yeah, it won't hold up. Ain't no sense in it. If anybody, I need to research it a little bit, but if anybody has a good target you use for broadheads that shoots a heavy setup like this, that, you know, $100 target lasts us what, 3 days? Two or 3 days. Like we basically get say 150 shots out of a $100 target, and then I'm taking foam and filling the center of it up and wrapping it in cellophane and doing everything to get another 150, and we destroy the targets because we're just blowing through them. So if anybody has any targets they've used that hold up to the abuse of these big fixed blades, let me know. Like we shoot a lot with fill points, but once we're dialed in, we only shoot with the broadheads, because there's a little variation in flight, and I keep my confidence up a lot better when I'm shooting the head that I'm going to shoot a deer with. But if anybody's got a good target that actually works better than something I can go typically buy, let me know. Yesterday we were at the archery shop, and he's got a big target, you know, up against the wall, and I wasn't even going to shoot it with my bow because I knew I would just blow right through it. But Jay shot it and didn't quite go all the way through the foam. Tristan shot it and went clean through the foam and out the wall of the archery shop. And so that's not something that happens too often. So these heavy setups are unbelievable for penetration. I just wanted to show you all that in case anybody was looking or trying to figure out what to buy or just getting into archery hunting. You don't have to spend a whole lot. In the Ocala area, you can look up Tall Pines Archery. He can probably handle most any setup you have. Around Plant City, you got Arrowhead Archery, Lakeland, Adventures Archery Lakeland. There's some good shops around here local that can get you taken care of. So any questions, let me know, and happy hunting. We'll see you on the next one.